Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to say I'm really happy to moderate this distinguished panel. Today, we're going to talk how sustainability in industry is no longer just about following rules or making promises. It plays a key role in running operation well, keeping costs low, strengthening supply chain, and building long-term success. In our session, we'll talk how sustainability is built into everyday industrial work, from a new and existing project to plant shutdown and restart. Even more important, we'll look at how these efforts show real results on the factory. To more know about it, first I would like to ask the question to Mr. Osman. How are you, dear?
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Osman, I would like to ask, you've led multiple greenfield and brownfield projects. How do you embed sustainability into operational excellence from day one without compromising speed or profitability?
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Very good afternoon to everybody. Definitely, including the sustainability initiatives from day one, extremely providing a lot of benefits to profitability. And also, we are experiencing better rate of return in the investments in the greenfield projects, by this way. This is the key. And when we are doing this one, especially in the project definition or project development phase is the key place. We need to take initiatives. We need to implement and start working on these initiatives during the project execution and development, but more important in the front end part. I will be giving some practical experiences and also examples. One of them is process design, which is many process industries these days are using very advanced tools like Aspen modeling, pinch analysis, and also heat exchanger network optimizations. What are they? I will further explain based on my experience also what we are seeing in the industry. For example, one process unit having exothermic reaction, and this unit needs to be cooled down. And another unit, like dryers and evaporators and etc., needing heating. So by using one media, which is taking the heat from where you need to cool down and giving to the place where you need to heat, is automatically creating a lot of savings, a lot of utility requirements, which is definitely reducing the expenditure requirement, but also at the same time giving a lot of profitabilities. This is one example which, if you are really considering your material and energy balance and making this kind of tools to use in the beginning of project execution and also mainly in the project design phase, you will be having better operational expenditures in the future, which is helping to profitability a lot. Second part, which is again very important, is equipment selection. In the equipment selection, of course, I'm sure you know better than there are a lot of best practices. There are very simple, let me give we are looking much more energy efficient motors. We are trying to put much more variable frequency drive compressors or pumps. We are trying to consider smart MCCs with monitoring systems and already have compensation capability without investment. So these are very important practices in the industry, already known, which is important to put in the first days in the investments. But of course, always investors looking to reduce the cost of the expenditures, and it is always a challenge for the engineers, project teams, and etc. To able to work on it, also there are different tools that we are using, which is like procurement tools. It is already used many 20 years plus, but total cost of ownership, meaning we are not just looking the price and price or value of the equipment. We need to look in the equipment. Is this equipment in the future will be requiring more utility requirements, meaning that more energy, more steam, more electricity? Is this equipment is needing more reliability, more maintenance requirements with respect to odor? Is this equipment looking much more manpower cost in the future? So there are methodologies, matrix criteria we are putting all these things, and then we are deciding which equipment is the right equipment. And personally, I did 6 startups, 6 greenfields, and 2 brownfields. 90% of the time, this is the right way. Although it's the big pressure from the management or from the owners to reduce the cost, but in the long term, this makes you to be profitable. This is extremely important. And in many different countries, different applications, but especially in now Saudi also, alhamdulillah, this kind of environmental compliance are so sensitive. So this is also a very important part. I see many investments couldn't able to start on time or delays in the projects because they are not able to produce based on the environmental requirements, emissions point of view or wastewater discharge limits point of view. Personally, I experienced in different countries, people couldn't able to start the business 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. So definitely, thank you very much for this wonderful question. Is sustainability initiatives slowing down anything? Definitely no. In the beginning, if we consider these things, it is also risk mitigation, and by this way, it will not impact to your profitability in the long term. These are the points I can share about this question.
Interesting, and this can lead me to the second question. Based on your experience, how can sustainability initiatives directly improve IFTDA, competitiveness, and long-term value businesses?
I mean, first of all, let's talk about a bit different. First of all, how we can start the journey and how we can put things into the table. There are different methodologies, but I prefer more practical and more simple ways to able to initiate. You should develop a roadmap by focusing on some pillars or let me say focus areas. And you can take it very simple, based on the process, based on the product line, based on the business, because every business is different. Like in process industry, main I can say you can focus on water. Water meaning that reducing the water consumption, reusing it, recycling it, or energy meaning steam side and electric side both. Waste from different perspective also very important. Emissions, but also packaging, also supply chain, end-to-end chain, including the emission and also overall supply chain impacts. So if you put these things and if you provide these things in the way that you can sustain with some systems like ISO 50001, which is a wonderful standard that you can sustain by doing necessary inputs in the place. Also, you need to invest in your team. You need to invest the team like it should be evaluated. This initiative should be in their performance management system. It should be also in their individual development program. For example, as a MEFSCO, we are sending our engineers to Saudi Energy Efficiency Center for certification processes. We are so much getting the very nice inputs and outputs about this.
And this shows how it's important to do such.
Definitely. And these kind of things, making the things to be in sustain, but also from the EBITDA point of view, from the net income point of view, any kind of initiatives what we are doing, we are seeing these things in the cost of goods is going down. Automatically, your gross margin is increasing. Yani, any initiative in energy especially, and you will see after water also will be like this, and also in environmental part also, you will see your cost of your goods will be go down, your gross margins will be increasing. This is the obvious one, but also before me also, there are gentlemen also highlighted. Waste part also very interesting. And if you really focus on waste reduction, also your inventory requirements will be going down. And if you reduce your inventory requirements, you will be having better cash flow. And in many countries, and here in nowadays also, all of the businesses, including us, we are working in the lack of working capital. So every working capital requirements, you need to go to the loan, to the bank. Exactly. Then you need to pay interest costs. So for that purpose, if you are doing initiatives and trying to reduce your waste and manage your inventories, definitely these are helping you in your net income, not just in EBITDA.
Indeed.
And last but not the least, maybe I should highlight, I just explained regarding process design. In the process design, my one of the experience I will share. For example, we have one dryers, and in the dryers, when you make the things, then you will have vapor streams going up in the exhaust. We recycle it and put to the preheating of one evaporator. By this way, we save, but at the same time, we were decided to not to buy one boiler. So what does it mean? From the P&L, from the financial statement point of view, your depreciation cost also going down. Yani you don't need to invest, automatically your depreciation cost also increasing. Yani overall as a financial statement, EBITDA point of view, directly there is impact by reducing the cost of the products, but also as a net income point of view, by this way you are also reducing your working capital requirement, one, and also the depreciation cost, which is also very critical in many businesses. These are the points I can summarize.
Interesting. For my following question, I would like to ask you, Mr. Muhammad, but first, how is everything? All's good?
Excuse
Okay.
me.
For my question that I would like to ask you, what roles do carbon accounting and life cycle assessment plays in guiding smarter manufacturing and supply chain decisions?
Thank you for giving the opportunity to present and to share the knowledge with all the people and the
Sure,
audience.
we'd like to this.
So the question you are asking about the carbon inventory and the life cycle assessment. So these are like two things which are the purpose of, they are almost the same thing, but the purpose is different. So in the case of carbon inventory or GHG emission inventory is basically you are, a company is calculating the carbon emissions on the whole supply chain, and it is divided into scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. And the purpose of that is to see where you are emitting the most carbon. Like, so all the emissions are converted into carbon equivalent. And like, for example, emission from packaging, there may be methane emission or there may be NOx or SOx, that are all converted into carbon. And then you calculate that how much you are contributing. Maybe scope 1 is mostly the stationary combustion and the fuel combustion or the mobile combustion, and scope 2 is the electricity and or steam buying from the outsources. And scope 3 is mostly like the inbound stream of, for example, material purchase, and the outbound stream like the product you are selling. So all the inventory is calculated, and the main purpose is to get the data and to how to control that, like where are the major emissions and how to control it. The other purpose is the difference between and the difference between LCA and carbon and GHG emission inventory is that the GHG emission is the time bound, like it is 1 year, maybe every year you are reporting that I have emitting this much carbon. And it shows that how you are efficient, like you are increasing the carbon emissions or decreasing. Mm-hmm. And then you have a target. The other purpose is to set the targets, and you are saying, like, for example, I want to submit to SBTi targets and I want to comply with that, and then you say I will this much absolute reduction in carbon emissions in the 10 years. And then you comply with that, you report to SBTi, you have a third-party verification, and then you contribute to as a whole to the you can say the environment and the ecosystem. The LCA is the difference. The LCA is a life cycle assessment where you are calculating the impact of your product or your activity per unit. Like we are a poultry company, so we say this is the global warming impact of my product per kg. Or this is the human society impact of my product and per kg, for example. And per kg, for example, I am creating one chicken. How much is the society impact, the ecosystem, the species? What are the, like, maybe I'm using the packaging which is very detrimental to the forest in Amazon, or I am buying corn or soya from Amazon deforestation area. So that is also impact. So the LCA is giving you the impact. And then in the LCA, you are basically then tweak that the different of innovation, or you can say like the efficiency in the system, and you are saying that, okay, I will reduce this much impact on my product, and then this gives you the opportunity to implement the efficiency in the system. Like you were saying that, okay, I will to reduce the methane emission per kg, I will reduce my combustion. I will go for renewables. To reduce the NOx or SOx, I will not, for example, I will have a circular process in the system where I will not dispose my waste in the land, for example. So these are the different two same things but different purposes. So the data is the same, like you are taking the same data, but in the case of LCA, you are going from one step to the other step. For example, if I'm producing feed, this feed, how much is per kg of the emission from the feed in the 1 kg of chicken? So I will convert the unit conversion. So it will be a little bit technical if I go in detail, and then for example, from feed to the breeder operations. So in the breeder, how much is per kg of that breeder operation is contributing to per kg of chicken emissions? So all these things is like the same data, but your purpose and the perspective is different.
Okay, thank you for the comprehensive clarification. Mr. Muhammad, I would like to ask, how can circular economy principles be realistically applied in food manufacturing to reduce waste, manage resources, and strengthen supply chain resilience?
So in the case of food, like food manufacturing is directly contributing to the sustainability of the planet. Why? Because if you do anything in the food manufacturing efficiency, that is very, very easily to get the results. Why? Because of the reason that this is directly related to land. Like, for example, in the poultry, if I am reducing the raw material and I increasing the efficiency and reducing the raw material, these raw materials are 90% coming from outside in Saudi Arabia. Corn and soybean meal and all the material there is no cultivation. There is a cultivation, but it's not for the feed, or most of the feed companies are buying from outside. Okay. So you can imagine like the fertilizer application, then the shipping, then the storage, and then all this processing is basically creating a lot of like contributing in terms of fertilizer application. And so if you reduce the waste, reduce the raw material, you're directly basically saving the fertilizer, you are saving the...
across all the value chain.
Yeah, all the value chain. And the other thing is that in the food industry, there is a waste, which is a bio-waste. And if you go to there is a mention on in the National Geographic, there is a report that waste in the food or waste in agriculture is a renewable source. Like, for example, this waste which is coming from agriculture, you can use it as a fertilizer, as composting. You can use it as a source of energy, like biogas or pyrolysis, where you are making converting waste to energy. And then this waste is the waste which is coming from the carbon dioxide, which is already in the environment. For example, when the plant is growing, it is taking carbon dioxide from the environment. It is not a fossil carbon dioxide, which is I'm digging from. In the case of fossil fuel, I'm taking carbon dioxide, which is millions of years stored in the earth crust. This is the carbon dioxide which is already was there, and it is stored in the plant. So if I'm reducing creating biogas, this biogas is renewable because this carbon dioxide was not creating extra. It was already there, and I'm just recycling. So in the case of like, and the other part is the food industry is the animal welfare. The more efficient you are and the more sustainable you are, the more animal welfare you will follow, or you can say you can enhance the animal welfare. The third part is the food safety and security. Like the more efficient you are, for example, the more healthy chicken we are producing, the more we are contributing to society because the consumer will get healthy chicken.
Totally agree.
So these are the four aspects of, in my point of view, is that you can have increase the sustainability by creating efficient process in the food process, the food supply chain.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. I would like to go back to Mr. Osama with my question. How do strong logistic and supplier ecosystem contribute to plant reliability, quality consistency, and overall operational resilience?
Okay. I think COVID showed all of us that the supply chain is so critical in all the businesses regarding the business continuity, of course. And reliability, when we talk about reliability, of course, maintenance, predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance. But before going these details, as if you ask a person in the factory saying that what is maintenance, he will say that 50% spare parts is available or not. So even we experience in the COVID times that it is so challenging. So definitely investing and developing ecosystem for the suppliers is critical. So what we can do, of course, we will not just remember our suppliers during the consumable requirement or purchasing something. We are doing some several engagements with the suppliers to follow what's going on. Meaning that especially a lot of things going on. İşte AI, the technology is moving, digitalization is moving, equipment's design is changing. So we are engaging with our suppliers as a strategic partner, and we are looking their direction and recommendation to do purchase and put the things in the right time by improving ourselves, because we will be learning. We are not experts on this part. This is the very important part regarding suppliers. Of course, overall chain-wise, if you are getting inputs and sourcing from the right people by developing alternatives also, I think this is also very important. We need to develop many different alternatives, not just cost per bit, but also reliability point of view. Overall, it is impacting to reliability, and when you see the improvement in the reliability, you are seeing overall equipment effectiveness, overall resilience is increasing by itself. And these disturbances which can created by the not working with the right suppliers or not developing right ecosystem will be deteriorating your financials also. But overall, this is what I can share.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying this discussion, but unfortunately, because of time, I'll just ask my last question for Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad, how can sustainability be operationalized at the factory level so it delivers measurable improvements in efficiency, quality, cost?
Yes, that is I think one of the question, the answer to this question is basically very important in the terms of as in my experience, sometimes it's very difficult to convey the same message. If you are on corporate level, you are saying that for example, net zero or carbon neutral by 2030 or 2035. But to convey this message to the factory level is very, very challenging, because the people who are working there, they do not have the holistic approach, or they do not have the authority to do things which they have to do. So in that case, I think the main thing is the education, the training of the employees, and give them the vision and incentives. For us, for example, we implemented the system to incentivize the farm owners, the farm laborers. So in the farmhouse, we give incentive based on mortality and FCR. If the FCR is better and mortality is better, sometime the farm labor is earning more money than the farm supervisor, for example. And they are getting very good salaries because they see the result in front of them.
Okay.
So that is incentivize the people, to tell them. I think the best example will be the program which we have in a company is called Rooster program. Its name is
Rooster. Can you tell us more about it? Can you tell us more about this program?
So the Rooster program is named Rooster because we are a poultry company. So it is a program where we incentivize the employees if they bring an initiative where there is a cost reduction. So 10% of that cost reduction is going to the employee. And it is going to every year. It is not like it will stop. So 10%, for example, somebody say that there is a wastage and I want to reduce this waste, and there is we reduce the cost of disposal of waste. Then that employee will also get benefit. So up till now, we have 60 million real saving, which is realized. But there are the total saving in last year, 2024-2025 is 170 million, in which 60 million is realized. So in that case now, just coming to this meeting, I was categorized all the projects, and in that projects, most of the projects were like related to waste. One of the major contribution was coming from one employee who said that why not, if you want to burn diesel, why not burn LPG, which is 30-40% less carbon, and the price is also so. So there is like 22 million impact on that. Just to see that there is opportunity, and that implies also like getting benefits of that.
This shows it's really important to hear from the all employees and laborers
Yes.
Opportunities and their opinion.
Yes.
How to develop more or saving costs. It depends on the product.
So one thing is that like we are thinking that this is just like a cosmetic thing, sustainability. But if you see like the more carbon you are emitting, the more you are wasting, the more environment, like carbon is coming from mostly from energy consumption. So the more carbon you are emitting, the more energy you are consuming. So if you target the carbon reduction, that means that carbon reduction is a proxy for cost reduction. So you are reducing your cost. The more you are sustainable in packaging. For example, there was a company who say, just to remove packaging, why not we use laser to print on the fruit? Like every avocado, instead of putting avocado in the package, why not just print on the avocado, which is, the laser is not, you cannot put, you are not putting any ink.
Yeah.
There is no ink on the fruit. So for example, these are the things like, for example, the more packaging you are reducing, the more money you are saving, the more your price sensitivity will be less. And in the same case, in the same sense, like the employees now, the people, the new generation is more like interested in companies which are more sustainable. So you attract the more good employees. When you attract the good employees, you are already ahead of the people because the organization is made of the people. So if you have a people who care about the environment, then you do not need to tell them very hard that okay, this is sustainability and how to do this, because they do not understand. So the thing is that when you embed in sustainability in the whole system is collectively work, and it is like everybody's job to take initiatives.
Interesting. Thank you so much. We have a room for one question, so I would like to ask the audience if anyone would like to ask the gentleman any question. Okay. Someone, can you just pass the mic? Or
السلام عليكم. انجينير عبد الحميد الفقي، شركة فيبك للصناعة. I wanted to ask how we can make this expression of sustainability to go align with ROI, because as we know, if there is no ROI after sustainability, no one will follow this one. I think we have many ways which can push the owners or the customer to have some investment which can give ROI after using the sustainability.
I think definitely. I think one of the questions Mr. Hala asked, and also I already tried to answer regarding impacts to EBITDA and financials, because at the end of the day, all of them regarding to rate of investment return. Definitely, we are seeing positive impacts. And when you are looking from this perspective, running business or greenfield, okay, any greenfield, if you are putting the things in the first place, the rate of investment return is coming better. This is sure. But again, you need to address on the right time. One is in the project design phase, you need to put the right things, best practices, you need to purchase the right equipments, you need to do environmental compliance initiatives. This will automatically bring the results, one part. Second part, regarding the running the business, of course, this is all of us which we are handling and trying to challenge it. Currently, you need to have a very sustainable program, which is, I think, Mr. Mohammed also in the second last question very well explained. You should include the sustainability, which also we are using another system, behavioral-based energy efficiency system, for example. We are trying to merge these things into people as a behavioral base. Yani, what does it mean? If someone leaving the room is closing the lamp, This is the right culture we have. So this kind of initiatives with the involving of the people, but at the same time putting the system in the right places by different ISO certification, different engagement, different roadmaps, okay? But you need to monitor it. Yeah, and if you cannot monitor, meaning again, you need to have smart MCCs, you need to have some monitoring systems, or you have to invest your engineers to able to calculate these things. If you put things in the table, definitely it will be seen as in your invoices, bills, and it will be reflected in the financials, definitely. And but this is one thing is top management awareness is important. Their support is important. But 230 vision is extremely wonderful. It's supporting in every dimensions. And also, I'm strongly recommending also SIDF initiatives. There are so much initiatives that you can make investments by supporting from the government, which we are working also. You can get support from the government, and these are really very well prepared. This is the reason that everybody believes this will bring a financial results positively.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Mr. Muhammad, you have any input on his question?
This, the answer to the question which you have discussed is that, look, if you do not want to innovate, there may be, for example, a system which you can invest that system, but you do not need, for example, waste to energy, suppose. In the case of poultry, if you do not want to invest in that, there is a big challenge of business continuity. Like, you cannot dispose of the waste if you say, I want to be a number one company in the poultry production. If you want to expand, you have to be waste disposal. And the only way, I think, in our studies is to waste to energy, where you reduce the waste volume by 75%. If somebody say that, okay, I do not want to invest because this is expensive, or I do not need it, and there are so many areas where I could dispose the waste, I think somebody else will come and they will kick out the company. So sometimes you have to see the continuity of business also. Innovation, look at Nokia. They stop innovating, then if you look at that in the lens of sustainability, it is also like, if they were using the buttons for a long time, and the people were already past their stage that they do not want buttons, and they were producing mobile with buttons. So that is, if you see like sustainability, button is require more material. No? So reducing the material on button is a sustainability initiative. If they think like this in the past, I think they might not have to be.
It's a win-win situation for both sides if they reduce it, yes. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm sure that all enjoy this useful discussion. I'll just excuse you if we can have a group photo. Thank you, everyone.